Hallo Bayreuther Basketballfans und herzlich willkommen zur 10. Folge von BBC Bayreuth Courtside. Mein heutiger Gast, der spielt seine erste Profisaison in Deutschland, ist Deutscher, war aber vor seiner Ankunft in Bayreuth noch nie in Deutschland. Und in den letzten Wochen ist er so richtig durchgestartet, deswegen wurde es höchste Zeit, dass er zu mir in den Podcast kommt. Herzlich willkommen, Cantia Rahming.
I appreciate you having me.
I think you're the only Cantia I know so far. It's a beautiful name. Where does it come from?
So basically, my dad played college basketball, and he had a teammate named Cantia, but they spelled it with an S. But my mom wanted to make it, unique, so she switched it with to a C.
But most people call you Tia, is your nickname?
Yeah, for short. Yeah.
Yeah. Tia, when was the last time you played 40 minutes in a game?
I would say my senior year of college.
You played the whole day?
I did play some stints where it was like heavy minutes, but it was where it was a close game and we needed to get the win. So yeah.
How did you like the energy in our arena against Gießen last Saturday?
Oh, it was great. It definitely helped us, as a team, get that extra push, to get that hump to win. So the energy was phenomenal. So yeah.
My plan was to invite you to the podcast all season, and I guess the timing couldn't have been any better to invite you right now. How good does it feel to play great and to win as a team?
Honestly, it feels really good, just because I know, especially with other guys, when you put so much work in, just to see the result come to it, what we work for. So yeah, it's a great feeling, and I know the guys are happy about it. So. Yeah.
Before we talk about your origins in basketball, let's talk about the season a little bit more. In my opinion, it wasn't only a roller coaster ride for our team, but also for you personally. What were your expectations when you came overseas, and how satisfied are you how things have turned out so far?
So I know coming overseas, I know it was, the whole aspect of Euro basketball is different than what it is. So my expectation was just learn as much as possible, try to translate my game as best as I can, and just be able to be as impactful as I can in my first year. Because I know coming in, you don't know what to expect. So just being able to adapt as best as possible. So.
But it was always in the back of your mind that Germany would be an option due to your passport? Or?
Yeah, that was actually the goal, because that's why I pushed for my German passport. And knowing that I had it, I had a good opportunity over here.
What was the biggest challenge adjusting to basketball here in Germany?
Just the way basketball was viewed. Because I would say in the States, you have your guys in certain systems that score and stuff like that. But here it's more so strategic, and I didn't really see it. I knew there was certain ways you can see basketball, but over here it's more strategic, which I do like, because there's a lot of advantages you can find and disadvantages and stuff like that. So it really broadened my aspect of the game.
But that sounds more challenging to adjust when it's more strategic, right?
Yeah, but when you have teammates who have been around this type of basketball for so long, they help you just understand, what I mean, get adjusted really well. Concerning
the last couple of games, did it help mentally when you know that you had a lot of minutes?
It just gave me where I saw things as okay, I have time. I know I can make a few mistakes, but it's just how I respond to them. And I have, good teammates to just always be there for me and hype me up and put me in good positions. So
yeah, and you did pretty well, actually.
Yeah, I try my best too.
So let's get back to where it all started for you. So where's home for you, and how big is your family?
Okay, so my home is in Tampa, Florida, but over the past couple of years, they moved to the Midwest in South Dakota, because my mom's she's a very big country girl. So that's where it all started for me, Tampa, Florida.
And so one more time for the record, explain to us why you have the American but also the German citizenship.
So my mom's from Germany.
Yeah.
And so when she moved to the States officially...
How old was she?
She was mid-20s. So she moved to the States, and that's where she met my dad. And so they had me and my sister, but my mom was still considered a German citizen at the time. But the only way she could stay in the States is if she gave up her German citizenship. So that she gave it up after I was born. So where we figured out a couple years ago, that left me eligible to receive mine. But so if she would have got rid of her citizenship after I was born, I wouldn't be eligible.
I see.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit luck for you.
It was a lot of luck played into it.
Okay.
Sure.
I saw that your mom replies to a lot of our social media posts, especially when you play well, but she always writes in English. Does she still speak German?
Oh yeah, she definitely does. But in the States, she doesn't really have anyone to speak German. So like her natural, like not natural, but she's just so used to just speaking English.
Okay.
Yeah,
but she should get more confident to write in German, just for practice reasons maybe.
Yeah, just to, brush up her skills.
If you're watching, du kannst ruhig auf Deutsch schreiben. Who brought you into basketball?
My dad did. So my dad played basketball in college, and I went to a few of his games growing up, so it kind of just got me into it, and I just loved it ever since.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
So it kind of switched up. I used to be a really big fan of Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, as you're from Florida.
Yeah, exactly. So basically after watching him and, when Bron and them were in Miami, a more recent player is Giannis. It wasn't because of like his play style, it was because of his development. Because he came into the league, not the biggest, not the strongest,
skinny, not getting playing time.
Yeah, and his work ethic kind of just showed, and I just like a guy who can put his head down and just go to work.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit more about your time in Florida. You then attended Hillsborough High School in Tampa.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, I did.
And then I think you became first team All-State, like averaging 21 points and 17 rebounds, like crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Was it your goal early to play basketball professionally?
Yeah, that was always the goal. I had a mentor, or I still have a mentor. He, which I met before high school, and
Who is he?
His name is Christopher Ward. He's actually the father of Tyson Ward.
Ah.
Yeah, I know he's a well-known name around here.
Yeah, he used to play in Bonn.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, like he kind of put me under his wing, and I just kind of kept training and stuff like that. He kind of just showed me the avenues that basketball can bring you. I always knew I wanted to play professionally, and obviously when you grow up in the States, everyone wants to go to the NBA,
Yeah.
But he kind of just showed me like there's other ways, there's other avenues that are very successful and, can bring you new experiences and stuff like that, so.
Yeah. But still you loved being close to home and chose St. Leo University near Tampa. I think it's between Tampa and Orlando.
Yeah, it's not too far off.
How would you sum up your time there?
I honestly loved it. I met so many great people. I have lifelong friends who I consider family from over there. And just being able to, kind of be in my area, but not too far, where I can kind of just focus on myself as a person and as a basketball player. It was an experience I couldn't replace like with anything. So, yeah.
I guess. In your senior year at St. Leo, you averaged about like 13 points, 11 boards per game, and you became, I think, the third best rebounder in the NCAA that year?
Yeah. So that was a really good year, honestly. So the funny thing is, the year before, I had a season-ending injury. I broke my fifth metatarsal in my foot. Oh. So it was a very, it was a bad injury, and I was kind of going on and off with it, throughout the year. So my confidence wasn't the best. So going into that year, I knew it was a big year for me, and I had good guys around me who helped me, just how it's going on right now. So.
Yeah, I know that you're roommates with Tajay Kelly. So you moved in with him when he broke his ankle.
Yeah.
So maybe your experience could help him a little bit coping with it. Or?
Yeah. Well, his situation's a lot different. I didn't have surgery, so.
Okay. But you were out for a long time.
Yeah, I was out for a long time, so I can understand like mentally how it can, be there's some adversity there, but he's been dealing with it really well. Yeah.
As many good Division II players, you tried to get on a Division I roster for one more year, I guess to get more attention from scouts, or?
Yeah. So I always wanted to have the opportunity to play at a higher level. And when I got the opportunity, I was ecstatic because it put me in a position not only where I can kind of just get the experience of that type of level for basketball, but also just getting like the training experience, the weight programs and stuff like that, just to have it under my belt and just see what it's about.
So you decided to join the South Alabama Jaguars, and your playing time was reduced to around 11 minutes per game. Were you a little bit disappointed at the end?
Yeah, how I'd say is like every guy wants to play, every guy wants to be impactful in the game, and honestly, especially with my mentor, he taught me like even with frustration, you got to control what you can control, and not worry about the things that are out of your hands. So that's what I kind of just tried to focus on, and so even though I wasn't very happy with my minutes, we were very successful as a program, And I learned a lot, especially like with confidence and shooting and stuff like that. So it's an experience I can't, pass up, so I very much enjoy my time.
Let's talk a little bit about US college basketball, because
Yeah.
after 4 years you were able to play for another year. Can you explain a little bit what has changed in college basketball during the last couple of years? Because players now can switch colleges multiple times sometimes. They can make money through the NIL agreement. So that's a little bit confusing for fans who don't follow the NCAA a lot.
Yeah, so basically, the way college hoops is going is that they're transitioning from being a college athlete to being an employee. So they see it as like they're going to pay players these big contracts to come here and stuff like that. But that's what's kind of messing up college basketball, because there's no culture, there's no dynasties, because players can sign a contract for a year, then switch schools for a bigger contract.
Yeah.
So honestly, it takes the loyalty out of the game.
But there used to be amateurs in the past, right?
Yeah, there used to be.
Not allowed getting paid.
Yeah, so like college basketball, like a few years ago, you weren't allowed to get paid. Like Zion Williamson, as you may have heard, he brought in a lot of income for Duke and a lot of college games, but he wasn't getting any percentage out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what opened the door to the whole thing, because they thought, okay, Zion's not making any of it, and they're making a lot of money. And so ever since then, you have all these players like AJ DeBonza making $3 million, other guys making around that sort. So it's just like, it definitely makes college recruiting harder too, especially for younger guys, because everyone doesn't want to go to the NBA, or guys are fighting for eligibility, and a lot of lawsuits are coming out because people are considering, like recently, there's a Vanderbilt University, the quarterback, he sued because he played Division II, or I think it was JUCO. I think he played JUCO, and it counted towards his NCAA eligibility. And he won that lawsuit to where he gets his year back. So now they can't come out with the rule, if you go JUCO, you get
junior college,
junior college, you get your years back towards the NCAA. Okay. So it's honestly, the door is wide open.
Getting a little bit crazy, right?
Yeah, and it's not slowing down.
That's also the reason why so many young German players leave for US colleges, because they finally can make money. Because in the past, most Europeans stayed in Europe because they could actually play professionally, I mean, even up to EuroLeague. Like Luka Doncic played EuroLeague for Real Madrid before he went to the NBA, because he could just make a huge amount of money instead of going to college where he would basically make nothing. And that changed a lot. And the other thing, like the other part is like Rick Pitino, the coach of St. John's, like a famous college basketball coach. Yeah. He just said he's very sad at the moment because he doesn't get the chance anymore to develop a player over 3 to 4 years. Yeah, the same like Donovan Mitchell or something.
Exactly, because you got guys who have one really good year and they chase the money.
The next contract. Yeah. So we have March Madness and the NCAA right now. Do you watch some games, and do you have a favorite team?
Honestly, recently, this is my first year not making a bracket. Because I used to be in tune with all of the games, but it's kind of hard, like with the time change. Yeah. Because I like my sleep, but
I mean, some games are in the late afternoon and evening.
Yeah, I was going for. There's 2 teams I would go for. Florida, because obviously home base. They are out, so I'm rocking with Houston.
Ah, okay.
Yes, I got one of my boys that play for Houston. So
yeah, I have a little bit for Arizona, because Ivan Karchenko from Munich is playing there. Okay. And I have 2 dark horses, Illinois and Iowa State. Let's see.
Okay. I like Iowa State. They were fun to watch.
Yeah. When we take a look at your Instagram account, your hobbies seem a little bit surprising from a boy from Florida, but now that I know that you have a ranch in South Dakota, it makes much more sense, because like riding on a horseback or shooting shotguns while wearing a cowboy hat isn't like for guys from Florida, right?
Yeah, not really. It depends on what part of Florida you go to, but yeah.
but those pictures are from your ranch in South Dakota? Yeah.
So we have a few horses, but right now my mom's building a ranch, so we just rent stalls. Yeah. So.
But you love the style in general, or?
Yeah. I love the countryside and wearing some boots. Yeah.
Are you into country music as well?
I love it. Yeah, I love country music.
Yeah, that's great. But you also have a hobby that's very popular in Germany and can be done in the mountains around Bayreuth. Snowboarding.
Snowboarding, yeah.
Did you give it a try here?
No, I haven't. I just try to stick to, staying healthy and focusing on the season. But I would love to. I hear the slopes over here are, amazing.
Especially when you drive to the Alps.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Like,
no, it's definitely it's on my bucket list for sure.
So if you come back, you have to bring your snowboard.
Oh yeah, I have to.
And I saw during FIBA break you traveled to London.
I did.
I guess it was worth a trip.
Yeah, because I have a friend that stays out there. He's from London, and he just showed me around. It was my first time, and it was definitely a great experience.
You told me you made a lot of steps every day.
Yeah, we definitely, about 16,000 steps a day.
So you walked around and did all the sightseeing?
Yeah, it was definitely fun. Food was phenomenal. Yeah.
And that's the good thing when you play in Europe, all the big cities are quite close, like Paris, London, Milan, whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm also a follower of your second account, your fitness account.
Yeah.
Are you working on a second career as an influencer, or do you just want to show the hard work you're putting in?
It's not really, my intentions isn't to be like an influencer. It's just trying to I do it because I want to promote just health.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, I have a lot of younger followers, and they don't a lot of them don't understand things that they could possibly do to where it benefits them, because I never try to overload myself to where I'm very fatigued, but I just want to always find time to work on myself, you know what I mean? 'Cause I'm extremely big into mental health, and for me being able to lift for 30 minutes is very calming for me.
So just bring in as many good habits as possible and kill the bad habits.
Exactly, yeah.
Especially for young people, that's very important.
Exactly.
As many people your age, I know, they eat bad, they start drinking and don't focus on that.
Yeah, because I want to help kids and help people just find that little motivation that they need, So,
That's a great approach.
Yeah.
Let's get back to basketball. I want to talk about rebounding. What a surprise. So I've seen many players over the years who were good rebounders, but they were tall or heavy or had a physical advantage. And that's not the case with you, without being disrespectful. So in my opinion, you have a rare gift of knowing where the ball is coming down. So how would you describe your rebounding?
I would say over the years it became more of an instinct. I just have a knack for it, I would say. It honestly happened after my injury in high school, because my mentor had this rebounding drill where it's kind of just it kind of clicked for me. And he sat me down one time when I was talking to him about college recruiting, and he said, you got to be a player, because everyone can shoot, everyone can score, and you got to find something that people don't do. You know what I mean? And I kind of just saw rebounding as a skill that people kind of didn't really focus on.
Like a niche.
Yeah, exactly. So I was okay, I'm really good at this rebounding thing. Let me really lock in and be the best I can at it. So it just became a part of me in my game.
But still, I think you have a great instinct, and instinct is something you can't teach.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So, a game in Karlsruhe was just where I think it was an offensive possession where he had 3 offensive rebounds within 20 seconds or something like that. And I was sitting in front of people saying, it's incredible. Just incredible. That's great. You also know that I'm commentating our live streams and our home games. And sometimes I just drop the sentence that it seems like you have a vacuum cleaner in your hands, because you suck in the ball magically.
Yeah. So, that's funny.
But I think you couldn't teach how you do it, right? It's hard to describe even.
Yeah, it is very hard to describe. I feel it's more so a mindset, you know what I mean? And you kind of just have to understand, you got to just be able to for example, American football, when you see a quarterback throw and you kind of track the ball. Yeah. It's kind of similar. You kind of have to know your angles, and you kind of have to be able to see where.
For a wide receiver?
Yeah. So if the ball is coming in, if you're shooting in the corner, most likely the ball is going to go if it's short, it's going to go to the other side. And if you're shooting from the top, it's a little harder, but I would more so try to cut in the middle, because you can have a better chance at it. For me, I don't know, it's more of an instinct, kind of how I react to it, but that's just how I work.
So you predict landing zones.
Yeah.
You're good at that, at least.
Yeah. I have a good knack for having an instinct for it.
Let's get back to the present. So we now have a tough road game at Artland on Sunday, and then we face another playoff team with Bremerhaven the week after. Are you prepared for another 40 minutes? And what goals remain for you until the end of the season?
If I have to play 40 minutes to win, then I have to. But I'm not gonna go in there that's you know what I'm saying. But The guys and I have been working hard, and being able to understand what exactly we have to do to get the win. I know we're very ecstatic to play them, just because they came here and it wasn't the result we wanted. Yeah. But I think with the group that we have, I think we're very confident in being able to compete and being able to snuff out the win. And I feel like that would definitely shake a lot of trees, in this league, and a lot of people will start, that's Bayreuth, they're coming up, so just looking forward to it.
I think teams might be a little bit afraid of you right now.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I have the observation that the shorter your rotation got, I think the teams stuck even closer together and performed better as a team. It's just my opinion.
Well, we just know that, like how, our coaches say, like, next man up, so we just try our best to stay together, even though our adversity is hitting our team, and just play for the guys that can't play right now. Mm-hmm.
My last question is, I have a quote from you that you said before, quite shortly after you were signing with Bayreuth. I read it out. I chose Bayreuth because I was immediately inspired by the passion shown by the coaches and fans. I see a future where I can grow both as a person and as a player in a city that loves basketball just as much as I do. There's one question that we get as a comment nearly after every game. When do you resign Cantia? What has to happen so we can finally respond, we did?
Honestly, I
have to ask that, otherwise they will.
I'm just, talking with, management and stuff like that, see where things take us, and just talking with my agent and everything like that, seeing what opportunities lie ahead. Nothing's out the door, but I'm open to hearing everything and what they have to say. So. I would Bayreuth's definitely a great city, great fans, great atmosphere. So,
And we still have a plan to grow, and you do as well.
Yeah.
So it might be the right place for you in the future. So everybody would be very happy to have you back on board.
I appreciate to hear that.
Especially concerning your development over the season. I think you got better and better. And let's see what the last games hold up for you.
Yeah.
So all the best for you, and hopefully you will stay healthy. We have enough injured players this season.
Yeah, you're right.
You're one of the last men standing, I would consider it. So all the best for you, Tia. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sonntag, 17 Uhr, Auswärtsspiel in Quakenbrück bei den Adler Dragons. Und dann am Samstag, den 4. April, also der Samstag vor Ostern, das nächste Heimspiel in der Oberfrankenhalle gegen die Eisbären Bremerhaven. Kommt alle zahlreich, unterstützt unsere Mannschaft. Wir hatten zuletzt tolle Spiele gesehen von den Jungs, sowohl auswärts als auch daheim. Und das wollen wir natürlich bis zum Saisonende fortsetzen. Danke nochmal an den Media Hub Bayreuth für die Produktion und an Klaus Liebig und die VFM-Gruppe für die Präsentation des Podcasts. Und dann bis zum nächsten Mal bei BBC Bayreuth Courtside.